Okay, let's see if I can do this. We're going to be on 3 different platforms, and I'm not necessarily going to be able to see comments uh, for Instagram, but I'll kind of do whoop and like peek around and see if I can see you guys. So welcome to our Friday Fireside Chats. Let's go ahead and go live on the third platform we're going to be on. Let's see what's going on here. Perform live. Hold on. Here we go. It's working now. Going live on Perform Live. Okay, here we are, live on all the places in all the places. What is going on? Facebook, LinkedIn, Perform Live, Instagram. I am so stoked to be here with all of you. We were not here last week because I was at Esalen in Big Sur. For those of you who know where that is, you know that it is an incredibly sacred, amazing place for revitalizing oneself. I was doing an incredible retreat called the Enneagram and Social Justice. 2 things that I'm very passionate about. Definitely got a lot of takeaways, but I want to jump into our content for this week's Fireside Chat. Please know that as we're doing these Fireside Chats, they're meant to be not just a space for me to talk to you, but rather for us to have a conversation. And so I welcome your comments where I can see them. And I might have to do something like this or something like this to see your comments. I'm happy to respond to comments after the fact if you're watching the replay. And certainly would love the opportunity to do some flash coaching with those of you who are on Perform Live, because you know that you can come on stage. So I'm wearing my little wrap today because my air conditioning is pumping in here and I am a bit chilly. So let's get into it. Today, we are going to talk about practical spirituality. If you are on my newsletter list and you get my weekly love notes, you'll know that there was a big feature today about, or this week rather, on that topic of practical spirituality and the clarity I've gotten for myself around, the work I'm doing in the world with all of you lovely people. And when I boil it down, that's really where my heart is, and that's really what I'm all about, is being a spiritual Sherpa, meaning that I have the tools, I have the equipment to help you make that trek up the spiritual mountain. But that the idea is that it would be for practical reasons that you can apply to your day to day life. Spirituality for the sake of spirituality is gorgeous, it's beautiful. And if you're somebody who can, go and sit atop a mountain and meditate for 10 hours a day, I celebrate that for you. I think it's beautiful. And for most of us who are, having to live in the day-to-day grind of this world, um, spirituality has to be something that we can apply um, in a practical way, or at least I find that it's useful to be able to apply spirituality in a practical way. How does that relate to radical resilience? Well, radical resilience, as we over here define it, has to do with making your way back home to your essential self, back to the essence of who you are, which is really where I posit that resilience relies. That when you are at home and in alignment with your truest, most authentic, essential self, that you become unstoppable. You become like that. Palm tree in the hurricane, where no matter what happens, no matter how much you get whipped around by life, you come right back to center and standing upright. And things like the Enneagram, tools like that, psychospiritual tools that help us break out of the box of our personality structures, things like yoga, meditation, theta healing, all of these things, these tools that we can apply in a practical way, are really at their core, at least over here in our camp, used for the purpose of finding our way back home, finding our way back to the essence of who we are so that we can be unshakable, unstoppable. Now, is it an easy process? No, it's a simple process, but not always easy, does definitely take some doing. And definitely is a commitment to a lifelong practice, because the journey that we find ourselves on as human beings is to get on the path, wake up, fall back asleep, wake up, fall back. The game we're playing as human beings. And I think that maybe the goal is to see if we can stay awake for longer stretches of time. In other words, stay connected to our essence for longer stretches of time. And, or you could look at it as you remember, you forget, you remember, you forget. So, can we remember who we are, what we are, the essence of our beingness for longer stretches of time, whereby we can be more resilient human beings, meaning that no matter what life throws at us, we can see it as an opportunity. We can see it as a gift, even in the most tragic moments, and ultimately use that as a way to find ourselves more deeply and to connect in a bigger way with the God of our understanding. Okay, so big, big stuff, but what does that mean and how does that apply on a day-to-day basis? Well, I think it looks like your ability to set an intention for your day, decide who you want to be on a day-to-day basis. We've talked about segment intending, and then find the methodologies, the tools, and the strategies for recommitting to that essence and being to hear from some of you, how this resonates with you when we look at doing a spiritual practice for practical reasons of being able to navigate our way through the world with grace, to maintain our sense of inner calm, our sense of equilibrium, ultimately to be able to be resilient and stay connected to our essence no matter what life throws at us. So I'm just going to peek over here. I'm seeing we got some folks on the Instagram. Okay, hold up. We're going to do a little of this. We got Anna, we got Samantha. I'm so stoked that you're here with me. What do you all think of this whole practical spirituality thing? How does that resonate with you? I'm going to peek over here at our other platform to see what we got going on as far as comments or anything like that. How's this resonating with you guys? Spirituality for the sake of practically navigating your way through the world and how we can better do that. So, I'm a practitioner of theta healing. That's been a topic that's come up this week. This on Wednesday, I shared with you all that I'm reading a book called The Physics of God. Can't recommend it enough. And really, I love it whenever science validates things that we have known for thousands and thousands of years, things that wisdom traditions have been saying forever. So I love that there's so much in that book that validates the theories and um, practical applications of theta healing. So, um, again, practical spirituality. What am I going to do with theta healing? How am I going to apply that to my life in a way that is practically going to help me navigate the day to day of what life throws at me? So, that is really at the heart of what I am contemplating these days. Um, would love to hear from all of you who are on with us or after the fact, even watching the replay. So if this is like resonating with you, throw a little heart emoji, thumbs up emoji, um, throw a little comment somewhere in there on Instagram or on Facebook, and let me know how this is sitting with you, resonating with you, and what your thoughts are about it. I know a couple of you who are on have actually had the experience of moving through this work with me, the radical resilience transformation process, and at the center of that being the practical spirituality. So would love, love, love to hear from you. At any rate, the fireside chat today is a little bit fluid. It's a little bit open because I just have been so immersed in the ideas in this book of the physics of God and how they relate to everything else that I do. And I just wanted to bring that into the fold and into the conversation today. So Annie is saying, remembering and forgetting is a solid way to summarize what happens at times daily. I can get irritated with myself when forgetting, but then forgive myself. So that is the name of the game. That's effectively what I think we're doing on this spiritual path. I think we want to stay awake. We want to remember who we are, but we tend to forget because our personality structures hijack the system, right? Which is why something like the Enneagram is so useful, because it's a way of catching ourselves in the act. That was something that I heard Russ say at the retreat last week that I just loved. There was so much that I wrote down from last week's retreat that I just loved. Catching ourselves in the act. You could say catching ourselves in the act of forgetting. So I love doing these Friday fireside chats with all of you where, we just bring a topic to the table, we throw it out there, we have some free form conversation and some dialogue. The goal of these Friday fireside chats is really to provide you with a platform and a forum to get a little extra love, get a little extra, you know, uh, wisdom, I suppose, that is not mine but comes through me, and to have a little interaction and to have a little forum for us to chat that isn't just me talking at you, right? So um I know a lot of people can't necessarily join us exactly at this time every week, but as you listen to the replay, please know that I take every single comment to heart. I consider and respond to every single comment myself. And I'm here for you. The by design, these little lives that we do are just another way for me to connect with you, to support you, because that is ultimately my life's goal. Those of you know me know that my mission statement is to inspire, uplift, and empower um, everybody, but very specifically women, because that is where my heart is at. So I hope that that is what you guys get from our time together on these little lives. So, with that, I would love to get your thoughts on practical spirituality. I would love to field any questions that you may have about any of these tools and methodologies for accessing your essential nature in a more practical way. As a means for practical spirituality and cultivating radical resilience. So, if you want to know more about theta healing, we're going to be focusing on that this next week on all the channels, on all the socials. If you want to know more about the Enneagram, of course, please send me a message. Happy to share with you some resources on how you can dig into that a little bit more. Weekly yoga classes Tuesday, obviously another way of tapping into our energy body and our essence by way of the physical. And my goodness, there's just so many other ways that I would love to give you tools and ways of tapping into your essence. So I will be back with you all on Instagram live on Wednesday for our Wednesday Walks with Jack at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those of you who are on Facebook and YouTube, be sure to follow us on Instagram and join us for those Wednesday Walks with Jack. Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, yoga classes coming at you every single week. Of course, last week we were off for all the things because I was in Esalen, but we are back and in full effect. So I am excited to play with you all in all of those different platforms. And I will, of course, be back next Friday. I'm always happy to take requests. If you're thinking that there's something you want to get into on these Friday fireside chats, please drop it in the comments below. Let me know if there's something you're have a burning question about or something you want to know more about, and let's get into it. This is our time, your time, and I'm happy to do it. So with that, we're hitting our roughly 13-minute mark here on all the platforms. So I'm going to bid you adieu. I'm going to bid you farewell. I'm going to wish you a happy and safe weekend. And I can't wait to connect with you again next Tuesday for yoga, Wednesday for walks with Jack, and Friday again for our fireside chats. So much love, light, and aloha from my heart to yours. Namaste. Ciao, ciao.